Hey guys, welcome to my class on 101 hog skinning. It ain't a very big one. It's not nothing huge because we're using the bird feeder here, but this little piglet is what we call a crock pot piglet. If I can fold the head, fold the legs, pull the tail in, it would lay in an 8-quart crock pot right now as is without me cutting it, which is the best size. Step 1. Find anything that's like a container, put underneath to catch any kind of blood or nasty or whatever. Always. Now I see a lot of guys, and even on a big one I would agree, that they take a knife about yay big and they go to trying to cut the throat. I don't believe in that. I don't really have a good small knife anymore, so I'll use this one. You come around the hoofs like this. I'm using wire. I've used ropes into nooses and hung one. All you do is you cut around like I'm doing, like in a circle. I don't know if you can see it real well. And then, like it being summertime, I'll take that nasty big old dog tick off, but that's not going to affect what's inside. Now, like with anything, you want to be cautious and aware of your surroundings. I'm going to leave that in my pocket. And I'm not putting this in here to look cool. We had a little visitor the other night, and I don't want him suddenly turning up on me and me not have anything. But then what I do is, once you round that, and sorry if the light's blinding you, once you round that, you can take a knife like this with a gut hook. And instead of the old-fashioned slit, you take that gut hook, get up in here, and it'll split out to right where you want it. Most of the time. There we go. So, y'all really can't see very good because I'm doing it from the offside, but that's fine too. And now I have room to work with as I go to peeling it. And really, that. And really, I know a lot of people will say, yeah, you gotta have a big old knife on you, or you gotta have a good knife on you, you know, big. When really, a fillet knife, a 4-inch fillet knife, a bait knife, or even a good case pocket knife. I've skinned a lot of deer with one of these. I've skinned a lot of coon, several hogs, including this one. But you just kind of trim down I've done this so many times that I can't tell you a correct number. Big part of my life I've...
Need to mention it's my first hog.
Huh?
Need to mention it's my first hog.
It's my wife's first hog to see, and she already tried a few wild ones, but now she get a crock pot one. But you just keep on coming down, trying not to cut into the meat real bad. And if it's, you know, if it's your first time, don't feel bad that you're gonna cut into the meat, because you will. I've done it a many a time. And even an old pro or somebody, I'm not like major league professional, but this isn't my first one. But even sometimes I still manage to cut into the meat on some things. It just takes time, practice. Were I inside a kill floor where I had plenty of room to work, then yeah, I could be really, really good, but I've never had the money to go to a processor. I've had one deer in my lifetime go to a processor, and I told myself after that that there would be no more of that. And matter of fact, that deer that went to a processor, I actually gave it all away. I refused to eat any of it. Sorry, lady, but this is a little sow hog. Luckily, I've done a good deed by hitting her, because they breed so rapidly. It's worse than COVID-19 in Oklahoma. So hitting her was really good. Now, you just keep on skinning down. I'm going to have to swap around to the back side here in a minute. I don't ever really like doing it offhanded, but I have no choice. And you know, it's a fun thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't think this video is going to be short enough to go anywhere, but we'll try it. But you just come up here and you clip away any of your nasty or your hides. If you're really good, you can hold it for your own self and do a really better job. Low light and not, but I've done out a whole bunch in my life. So when a job like this comes open, and most people would be going, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. Me, it's just like, get out of the way, hand me the knife, I got it. Doesn't bother me what I do. You just pull that hide on down. I know right now I'm kind of blocking the view of the camera, sorry, but... And it's important, like if you hit one, it's important to go ahead and get it done as quick as possible so they don't get stiff on you. So like we hit this one maybe 15-20 minutes ago. It's important to go ahead and do it tonight where it doesn't get too stiff to work with. Because when it gets too stiff to work with, you don't want to do it. Me, I like skinning my own because I know what kind of work's been gone into this hog. You little bitch. Shit. and there you rested. I like knowing exactly who's done the cutting and how good they are, and I know the faith I have in myself versus someone who actually gets paid to do this for a living. I know that my skill is a whole lot more important to me than paying the money to have somebody do it for me. Now on a tender pig, which this one's pretty dang tender, you can generally take them catching generally. I need to get that cut a little more. A lot of people tend to think that this is a very bloody, nasty, awful mess. And in some cases you're right, but not every time. It can be painstaking, and it can make you regret a lot of things in life if you let it get to you. But once you cut that poop sack, you're heading home. She's so tender, I just cut through her tailbone and it didn't affect my knife blade, so. I think I've gotten to that point where I can do it, and you can watch. A little bit. Alright, if you watch, about shook him out like a rabbit. If you saw, I was able to pull a little bit without having to cut. Now, one very important thing to do if you haven't gone ahead and done it beforehand, on a big one I already would have because I couldn't have lifted it on a bird feeder first of all. But an important thing to remember and not do is do not, on one you have not gutted yet, do not stab into the gut, especially on a bigger hog or a deer. When you do that, you have to quit skinning down and go ahead and gut the thing so it doesn't stink your meat up. It doesn't make it an unpleasurable experience for you. You don't really want belly fat on something this small. Doesn't really count for much. Which is why I'm not wasting my time trying to save any of it. I'm going to give one more lick and I think I can pull down again. Alright, if y'all watch, I'm going to try it. You see where we're at. sometimes that can be a lot harder than it has to be. Now if you notice, I'm raising this hog up a little bit. That's so I don't have to bend down so far to work on it. Get it pulled down to where you can, and then you keep on going. A lot of what you're seeing, this coloration right here, if you can see it, that right there, that's fat. On a bigger hog, that'd be so thick this little case wouldn't cut it. And I've actually skinned several that I was glad to have a big buck on me, because everybody's, and it's not the whole haha I got a big knife, it's the simple fact that there's so much fat that you could render the whole dang thing out for lard and come up with at least a gallon on one of the biggest ones I ever done. Trimming out, and I'll ask my trusty sexy assistant, how long's the video so far?
17 minutes and 15 seconds.
I don't know that you're going to get to send that too long for Facebook, but there might be a different way we can. Put it on YouTube. Anyway, you just keep on trimming down. I know everybody's got their different styles. Keep trimming and trimming and trimming. What I like to do when I get down to this certain point, since I'm not saving the hide for anything, I like to take a finger hold where I can kind of help myself pull. If you can keep it tight, you can kind of see where you need to cut and where you don't need to. And do it on this side too. You alright? Sweetheart?
Yeah.
Okay. My sexy trusty assistant happens to be my sexy wife, so using them holes in this hopefully somewhat tough hide and gripping the hide, I'm gonna try to shove it on down some more. I'm hoping that y'all can see this pretty good. Now I'm wishing I had the pole up on the porch. Some people want to tell you when you either shoot while hunting or hit a wild animal that you want to take it to a processor. That way it's professionally done and they know how to handle it. Well, yeah, those people have a lot more money than I do, but I'm here, and I've heard a lot of people also say that a wild animal is not healthy unless it goes to a processor. But I'm here to tell you honestly, they ain't nothing any healthier than a wild animal, because they ain't been pumped with all these weird hormones and all this bull crap. And you know, the fact that I know that there are some people who want to base that on beliefs. Well, God made all creatures of all sizes. I'm not sure about spiders. I think he let Satan do them. But when in the days of the Bible, they didn't quite have the butcher shops of today, and they did it out themselves. Oh, excuse me. They did it out themselves, and so I figure if it was good enough for them, it's good enough for me. I've always been one to like doing this kind of stuff right here. This is what I was kind of trained up to be until I've been a head chef at a deer camp in the edge of Arkansas. I've been for a few years. But my favorite part of it all, hunting or roadkill, whatever the case may be, trapping, I've always liked doing the cleaning. And it's not because I get to play with a knife and look cool. It's just, like I said earlier, you know, I know my skill level ain't no butchery degree level, but I also know what careful time I take and put into my work. And I can tell you honestly that yes, that animal's been thoroughly done. And you can ask my wife if you haven't seen it on camera yet. It ain't the bloody process that everybody thinks it is, if you're careful. Now I realize I'm scraping some hide and I'm getting right in there. I forgot to tell you, generally you want to go about where your fingers, you can feel each other around the legs. Or at least that's how I do it. My dad, if it was him, he would do it a different way. You go down, you ask the next 20 people, now I'll tell you something a little bit different. This is strictly how I do things. I'm gonna go until I can get in here good. And I'm going to go until I can feel my fingertips through the meat. Notice I'm grabbing right in there, about the bend of what a human would call an elbow. In the case of an animal, the front leg, just below the front shoulder. Or, you know, shoulder in general, because they don't have but two sets of shoulder, or one set of shoulders, and that's the fronts, you know, on the front legs.